The world was already bleeding. For 4 years, the guns of World War I had torn nations apart. Millions were dead. Empires were collapsing. But as soldiers began returning home, another enemy was just arriving. An enemy you couldn't see, couldn't shoot, couldn't surrender to. It would infect 1/3 of humanity and kill more people than the war itself. This is the story of the Spanish flu. March 1918. At Camp Funston in Kansas, soldiers began reporting strange symptoms: fever, fatigue, severe coughing. Within days, hundreds were sick. From there, troops boarded ships to Europe, unknowingly carrying the virus with them. The disease was caused by a deadly strain of the Influenza A virus subtype H1N1. No one knew it at the time. There were no virus tests, no vaccines, no antibiotics for secondary infections, just confusion. Despite the name, the virus did not begin in Spain. Spain was neutral during World War I and did not censor its press. When the outbreak hit Madrid, even infecting King Alfonso XIII, newspapers reported it openly. Meanwhile, wartime countries suppressed news of outbreaks to protect morale. The result? The world believed Spain was the source, and the name stuck. The first wave was deadly. The second wave was catastrophic. By late 1918, the virus had mutated. Healthy young adults, ages 20 to 40, began dying in shocking numbers. Doctors described patients turning blue from lack of oxygen, lungs filled with fluid. Some died within 24 hours. Entire households vanished in days. Unlike typical flu outbreaks, this virus triggered what scientists now call a cytokine storm, where the body's immune system attacked itself. The stronger you were, the more violently your body responded. Chapter 4. A world shut down. Cities closed schools. Churches shut their doors. Public gatherings were banned. Masks became mandatory in places like San Francisco. Hospitals overflowed. Coffins ran out. In some cities, bodies were stacked in hallways. Mass graves were dug because there weren't enough workers to bury the dead. By the end, an estimated 500 million people had been infected, about 1/3 of the global population. Deaths are estimated between 50 and 100 million, more than World War I itself. Chapter 5. Stories of Survival. There were no antiviral drugs, no ventilators, no intensive care units. Some survived through sheer luck, some through isolation, some because their immune systems didn't overreact. For many families, the trauma was too painful to talk about, and so they didn't. The pandemic faded quietly into history, overshadowed by war, politics, and economic collapse. Chapter 6. Why we forgot. The world was exhausted. After 4 years of global war, people wanted hope, not more death. There were no grand memorials, no victory days, no clear enemy to blame. It was an invisible disaster, and invisible tragedies are easier to forget. Chapter 7. The Legacy. But the Spanish flu changed the world forever. It reshaped public health systems. It strengthened global disease monitoring. It advanced epidemiology and vaccine research. A century later, when COVID-19 swept across the globe, the echoes of 1918 returned. Masks, lockdowns, fear. History had warned us once before. Final sequence: the Invisible War. World War I was humanity's war against itself. The Spanish flu was humanity's war to test nature. Between 1918 and 1920, it became one of the deadliest events in recorded history. No bombs, no trenches, no battle cries, just breath, fading. And a world learning, too late, how vulnerable it truly was. Fade to black. On-screen text.